Because I knew as soon as you could put me in front of somebody, I'd impress them.
People will see the level they're competing at and think, I can't do that.
And I will still to this day talk to even my sales guys and say, you have seen nothing until you've seen what I see that guy do.
Or was that a behaviour to make sure that you was impressing yourself and making sure you was becoming a better person?
If you think that Spencer should stop wearing this earring, raise your hand. And every single person in that whole room raise their hand.
Hello guys, this is a new YouTube channel, new channel that Spencer wants to start. Now the reason I'm sitting here with Spencer is that we was on a walk the other morning and he said, look, I want to open a YouTube channel. And I said, oh, okay. And I said, like, what for? And he was like, I just want to expose myself, like show people what it's really taken to get where he is today. Because the thing is, it's like everyone sees Spencer in this yellow tie, this blue suit, and everyone just sees this sort of bit of finished article and think that it has all come very easy. Now, witnessing firsthand, having a 20-year relationship, business, personal, with Spencer, like, I know the man behind the suit. So I said, like, if we're going to have a conversation or you're going to start telling people what it really took to get where you are, I'm being the man to do it. Because I know that you can't give me nice, fluffy answers. So this is where I'm going to be making sure that people can take stuff away, because it's not just, I'm not saying that they're fluffy in a bad way. What I'm saying is that you, I think, underplay what it's taken, or you brush it off that it's part of the life, part of the entrepreneurial journey. And I think that, no, we need to pull back the sheet. Like, you've studied personal development early on, yeah? Which not a lot of people have. So what you sometimes think is normal, like your mentality, the way you've programmed yourself, it's not an everyday mentality. And that's for experience. You must be witnessing that now, Spencer.
Yeah, massively. I think when you see people like yourself come through the system and you think, right, you're watching people and you're motivated and inspired, you just think that's the normal, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's too easy to just get caught in the trap of your circle is your circle, and that's just the way that life is, and that's how it plays on. And then all of a sudden someone come up to you and go, how'd you do that? I mean, what do you mean? You mean, like, it's just normal life.
Well, yeah, no, it's do you know what it is? It's we're going to be digging into Spencer's story right now, but like, you learn, just saying that, you understood about the circle of influence.
Yeah, massively.
So you surrounded yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
But yeah, in today's show, what we're going to be doing is really just stripping back on Spencer's journey, as I've been there firsthand, and want people to see what he went through, because it's more the fact that, like, the social media lifestyle, I'm not underplaying it. Like, you do phenomenal things on social media. It's a big part to your business. But they're not seeing what it's taken to get where it is. Like, it looks very good. So, yeah, in today's show, we're going to be digging behind Spencer's story, and just seeing from the mentality and the mindset just then from that answer of like, but that's the norm. No, you educated yourself. Yeah. So, so Spence, could you please just give us a little introduction for anyone who isn't aware of you, who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. So, 29 years old, which feels weird because it's only the other week I was 29. I keep telling everyone I'm 28 still.
I know I've been 25 for the past 10 years.
Age is a funny thing.
I'll leave it there, but go for it, Spence.
So got my own estate agency, passionate about property, investments, interior design, anything to do with property really is a big, big love of mine. And don't really know how it's become such an obsession, but it has. And that's pretty much me in a wrap, I guess. So I guess the big thing really is, how far do you want me to go back on this journey, really?
Well, the thing is, it's more when you entered adulthood. That's when I think it's going to be good for people to understand who are leaving the education system. Because education, it's a right where we are. So it's when they have to leap into that world and understand the world themselves. So I know you had various jobs, but let's start where you had like a nice secure placement. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so my first secure placement will probably be when I left college.
Yeah.
And I got my first interview in Whittam, driving up the A12 in my shaky Renault Megane, thinking, oh my God, I don't know if you've ever driven up the A12, there's no lights. So in the winter, it's horrendous. And I remember buying my first suit from Burton's and thinking, right, I'm going to nail this. My dad had actually got me the job at the time. So, well, he didn't get me the job. He got me the interview. And he basically come home. He said, look, I've spoken to the workshop. They're hiring up in the accounts division. I've been studying accounts at college level. And he said, I think you should go and interview there. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I've got this.
Did you take it because you wanted to go into accounts, or was it just a good job offer, or why did you?
Yeah,
was it something you wanted to pursue, or was it something that because you had an opportunity you went?
The honest answer is I failed my first year at college. So I'd gone into college and I'd left school, got into college, done my A-levels. Everyone did at the time. I don't know if they're still A-levels, but we'd gone in and I'd taken, quite at the time, I'd taken accountancy because I like numbers. I'd taken business because I like business. I'd taken accountancy, business, photography. Yeah, I know, wild card. And then I'd taken up PE because I don't know if you remember, I played basketball back at school level. Perry will still tell you, say, oh, basketball, year 9. But I love basketball. So I thought, right, I'm going to leave my basketball. But I got into doing A-level PE. Now, I don't know if you actually know this about PE. So I've got into this class. He did not like me, the teacher. So I've gone into this class and the first exercise is warm up exercise. And all you've got to do is name the skeleton, the bones in the body. Right, so I'm sitting there, everyone's like cracking down, writing down what's going on. I'm looking at everyone thinking, I don't know any of the bones in the body. I know the skull, which isn't the skull. I think it's the cranium or whatever it's called. Yeah, and I'm thinking, right at the end, he called me up, the teacher.
Did you write the arm bones, the leg bones? Or?
I knew coccyx, yeah, but that was about it. So we've gone up at the end and I've stayed behind. I'm thinking, oh my God, he's going to go ballistic at me. So I've gone up to the teacher at the top. I said, look, I'm really sorry, but I don't actually know him. He said, how did you get into the class? I go, well, I played basketball to quite a good level, and I guess that's how I've got in here. And he said, we need to change this now. He said, I'm going to be really honest with you, mate. He said, I can help some people, but you needed to do this at GCSE. Like, you can't come into A-level and not have done PE. So I changed my PE. I've now gone into maths because I know maths. I was okay at maths. My numbers were good. Gone in there, he hated me, the teacher. I've turned up late, everyone's like, Spence, how you doing? He's like, why are you talking? Sit down, shouts to me. I'm thinking, I don't like this guy at all. Then they let me change maths again into law. Gone into law. I can't do the debate side of it, loved it. Yeah.
Of course you did.
As soon as they wanted me to write an essay, the theory behind what was going on, way beyond me. English was not my forte. And I thought, well, the final straw was when I fell asleep at the class.
Well, the debating side they're some of the best salespeople in the world because they have to convince.
Yeah.
They have to negotiate.
Yeah.
Sell themselves. It's like people sometimes misread what some top people are fighting in law are.
Oh, massively. And you put me up in front of the class to explain why that's right or wrong. I'll go till I'm blue in the face. Yeah. The problem is you put me in a textbook and I've fallen asleep. So all I remember is being woke up in law with him slamming the book down on the table. I've jumped up and thought, oh, everyone's laughed. I'm thinking, why is everyone laughing? Yeah, it weren't for me. So in the end, college allowed me to drop that subject. Accounts didn't go to plan. Basically, long story short.
You just wanted to earn some money at this point, I take it.
Massively.
Because I think that's what a lot of people... I see it, and you probably see it now, like people in education, they just want to leave because they're now seeing some of their mates buying new stuff, buying new clothes, and you just want to be part of that adult lifestyle. So you took the risk and you've just gone like, took the risk, got kicked out, whatever you want to call it, didn't do well in the academic. So you got an interview in the accountancy world.
What had happened is we'd failed the first year and the college allowed me to do a resit where basically in accounts I'd done 3 years in 2 years. There's a few of us that done it. So we've done like a fast track course. So because that was the only way to catch up with everybody, I said, look, I'll do the accounts course. I'll get my head down, stop mucking around and just crack on with it. done the accounts, which then led me into the accounts job.
Yep.
Yeah. Dad had got me the interview, gone up there, done it. She's given me the opportunity, the lady at the time. She's really, really nice
Got on
lady.
the spot.
Yeah, pretty much. Like by the time I got home, done, I was like a Cheshire cat. Everyone's like, oh, you got it. And bless my dad, he was brilliant because at the time, I'm then nervous thinking, oh, has he got me the job? Yeah. And he's like, I swear to you, I haven't got you the job. You've done this all by your own merit. So yeah, started there and just cracked on really. It was a good job.
There must have been a little bit of not as strong self-belief then. If you turned around and thought, my dad must have got it for me. You must have not seen what they were seeing of you at the time. And I see that a lot in people. I see that a lot in people early on, that sometimes they don't appreciate or value what skills they have.
Yeah.
And it's like straight away you question, did my dad get me that job? So
massively. Like when you come home, it's great and all. Like, and don't get me wrong, it got me a foot through the door. But when they all know your dad, it's
like having a big brother. It's like having a big brother in school.
You know what that's like. Yeah.
It's like you get. Yeah, you're sort of already there. Like you haven't got to introduce yourself. It's like
absolutely. So I started there in the accounts division. It was great because I learned how to make tea and coffee really fast. That was always good. Every 5 minutes, I swear they drink coffee and tea more than water. I couldn't believe it. Does anyone want a water? No, I'd have a cup of tea, please, though. That'd be great. So I got really, really good at doing that. And I just concentrated on the purchase ledger.
I thought you were going to say you concentrated on making the best cup of tea or
no.
coffee.
I got taught one thing, make a bad cup of coffee or tea and you won't be asked to do it again. Well, turns out they want you to get the practice in. So I did. And just focus.
Stopping on that point.
Yeah.
When I entered the city, I was the dog's body as well.
Yeah.
You see the opportunity.
Yeah.
People don't always see the opportunity. What did you see? Like making the coffees and teas and being that tea boy.
Yeah.
What did you see? Why if I gave you that as a job spec today, you wouldn't take it.
No.
But why did you take it then? What was it you were seeing?
Because I knew as soon as you could put me in front of somebody, I'd impress them. Yeah. Now, whether it be through relationship or like just enjoying being around you, I knew if I could get in front of someone, I could move into the next place. Yeah. So for me, all I needed to do was get a job and do that job to the best of my ability. And then I'd move forward. Yeah. Whoever was saying, let's say it was tea or coffee. Yeah. If there was a guy next to me that was making tea or coffee, all I wanted to do is make sure that I made that better than them. Yep. Yeah. So when I joined the accounts division, I knew that whatever they gave me to do, and a lot of the time,
was that a competitive behaviour, or was that a behaviour to make sure that you was impressing yourself and making sure you was becoming a better person? Was it a competition or making sure you was becoming a better person?
At the time, I think I'll probably, if I was honest with myself, I probably would have said it was to beat the other person. Now looking back, I actually think it's me against me. And I can only do that now because of doing the things I've done, that I can look back on myself and reflect now and go, do you know what? I thought I was competing against the other people, but I weren't. I actually was competing a lot against myself.
What I always like to say is that what I see a lot is people start competing with people.
Yeah.
What they're doing is undermining themselves.
Yeah.
Calling that person even competition. It depends how you value yourself. Like my work ethic, your work ethic. I look at people and I like that's not competition.
No.
Like just because I ain't where I want to be yet, I ain't putting myself in a bracket of that's my competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I see that a lot. And like you've seen it being in the competitive sales roles and things like that. Like I wanted to know how to become the best in the room, not the best on the table.
Well, I remember sitting in that division and it's a weird thing actually, because I remember sitting there and we all had our own little desks. There was about 5-6 of us in the department at the time. You had a purchase ledger, a credit ledger, everything like that. And what we're doing is we're chasing the invoices. Now, the worst thing that anyone could have ever said to me was that you won't clear it.
I knew it was just because I knew it was going to be one of the lines. Like you weren't about to do that.
Honestly, now I'm sitting in there till like 7-8 o'clock at night, every night. I've still got to drive back from Witham to Southend and I'm determined. And it got to the point where actually I was now starting to wind up the managers down at branches because I couldn't get, you've had some work done, you've invoiced for it, someone needs to pay it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm chasing the payment of allocation. Yeah. So when they phone me up and say, oh, you don't need this till next month though, do you? What do you mean I don't need it for next month? If you just give that to me, it's just done. Like, why would you not just give it to me?
And right? I take it you didn't know how to chase at the time properly.
No. So I was just like a bullet, like a dog with a bone, like give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. And I remember sitting there every single day. And then what you find is that actually it can sometimes be a bit of a role reverse. If a company has always done something in a certain way, and then someone comes in and changes the way that that's done, you think it's normal for it not to be complete. So as soon as you now start getting to that point and place where it is nearly complete, now what happens, you start winding people up. Because what you're doing is there's 5-6 people in a department, and now you're showing people what wasn't done can actually be done. Yeah. So then you start looking at other people's emotions and the way that they're looking at you and behaving around you, and it starts becoming little cliques in the department.
That is the pure example of like, make sure everyone in the boat is rowing and not drilling holes when you're not looking. Mm-hmm. Like, it's because you're showing the company, the department, that there is better, faster, efficient ways to do something. Yeah. And things that people previously have said are not possible, you've shown it's possible. Yeah. Now that will undermine a lazy person.
Absolutely.
And that's the crazy thing about it, because the lazy people don't want to be called out. No. And anyone who calls you lazy or says anything, it's just because they're doing less than what you actually currently do.
We've always seen that, haven't we? With business, as you come through a department, there'll always be someone that then go and set new heights. I've seen it in my own business. Yeah, can't be done. And then someone comes in and does it. And now all of a sudden, the whole mentality, it's a whole shift. I mean, it's the 4-minute mile, the story behind that.
But you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Absolutely.
That's one that everyone needs to take away. Like, if there is a weak person in the room, they set the bar of how low, because it's a natural instinct for us to go, well, I ain't as bad as that person. Yeah. And that's where I remember consulting for a company. They had 40 people in a room. And he said to me, like, you've got to do something about it. You've got to help me. Yeah. And he said, I'm going to leave you be. I'm going away on holiday. And I said, what? I've got free run. He come back. I had 3 people that I brought in and 3 of his team left. The figures went up 5 times within 1 month, 5 times what they currently were, with 10% of the current staff. Because it was weak links make it acceptable within any business to have low figures. But so I want to move forward. So the accountancy, what did you take from it? What was pros? What was cons? What was things that you pocketed and kept with you?
I think the way to work with, at the time, people that were a lot older than me, because I'd never worked in those kind of environments before where it was an office. It was a proper office. I was wet behind the ears, to say the least. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But what I realised really fast is that actually it wasn't the room that I would see myself in. And as people around me started getting older and getting into jobs, I remember seeing you up in the city at the time. I watch everyone out in these restaurants, these luxury places, and drinking and bars and restaurants and things like that. And I'm thinking, that's where I want to be. Like, at the time, I would have been 19, 20 years old.
But it was the age when everyone was still partying. Yeah. That's the thing. So you were seeing it. So you wanted to leave an outskirts of Essex place. Yeah. Stop eating the local sandwiches out the shop. Yeah. So what did you take from it? Because the thing is, what I'm trying to get at is that people probably in their roles now, they may be 19, 20 in their first job. Like, what should someone do? Yep. If they know it's not their career, they know they're not going to stay there, how can they maximise sitting in that position right now? What should someone be doing who's just started out in work, knows it's not their full-time career? Like, I know you would say further down the line, find out what makes you happy. Yep. But like, what can someone do to maximise an opportunity being new within a company, new within the work world?
I would say look to people that are in places where you'd want to be. Yep. And if you can see a route and a way to get to those places, do everything that you possibly can to get to those places. I'd remember being in that office and looking at people like yourself in the city and thinking, do you know what? That's exactly where I want to be. So as soon as there was an opportunity, there was nothing that I was going to do to let that go.
This works on smooth.
Yeah.
Because what I want to do is talk about the financial.
Yeah.
Broker, I want to go through that because anyone who's listening, I had Spencer, texting me 5 times a week.
Do you remember the post? You done a post, and I remember thinking, that's my job. There's nothing I'm going to do to let this go. Because when we was 19, 20 years old, the thought of being a broker in the city was, I mean, for me at that time, was probably one of the most highest regarded jobs that you could do. So as soon as I see junior broker opportunity, I'm like, done. That's me.
Well, this works on smoothly because what I want to do is talk about your financial career as a broker. I want to go through that because anyone who's listening, I had Spencer, I think, texting me probably 5 times a week.
Do you remember the post? Yeah. The post. I remember thinking, that's my job. Yeah. There's nothing I'm going to do to let this go.
Educated, I have the gift of the gab in that game. Anyone will know it. Anyone will know that. And so I remember, putting it on social media about the opportunity. And I think at the time, what had happened is I was excited and I'd done it prematurely. So I knew it was coming up. I knew I was in that position. And I knew there was going to be positions to bring people in. And I think I got excited because I was young and stuck it out there like something's coming up. And then, I had you blowing my phone up weekly. Like weekly. And but what a journey that was.
Actually changed my life.
Like what a journey. I think back and it puts a smile on my face. Like just the things you did. So let's talk about. You come and tell me what it was like coming to walk, talk to me because we haven't got 5 days to talk. So I need you to do, and what I need you to do is be careful what you say as well, because the lifestyle that comes along with that can be pretty wild. So talk to me, like what you reached out to me, you come up. Let's get there.
So I remember you saying, right, come up to the city. This is where we meet. Don't be late. And I remember thinking, okay, that's fine. So straight away I'm there.
In my head, I thought, nah, Spencer. I thought, just because I knew you, I thought, I can't not. But in my head, I didn't have high hopes, and I'm going to be honest.
No. I completely get it.
But it was out of love as a friendship that and I think out of my phone being blown up, that if I did not bring you up, we go through it in a minute, but it's probably one of the best decisions. But let's, you come to the city.
Yeah, so come to the city. I remember getting up there early and I remember going to a local shop, grabbing a bright red tie. I was wearing a blue suit at the time, a white shirt, looking really crisp. And I thought, I need a red tie. I didn't own a red tie at the time. So went to the local shop, grabbed a red tie, learned how to do a Windsor knot. Yeah, YouTube. Literally sitting there on YouTube on a bench. Done this knot. It probably looked terrible looking back now, but at the time I was really proud of myself. And turning right up outside the building and seeing a group of people there, and thinking, okay, there's competition here today. I'm thinking it's fine. I've got this, yeah. And you'd come out, we'd all gone in the lift, up into a room, sit down, and it's like a U-shaped table at the time. And I'm thinking, right, I'm going to sit right at the end of the table, head first, because then if anyone comes out to speak, I know that I'm directly in eye line, yeah.
So you hold the point. What I need to pick up is that you've bought a tie.
Yeah.
Could have not done that.
Yeah.
You've told yourself, I've got this, because there was probably loads of people there at the time. Mm-hmm. You're consciously putting yourself in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you can't be seen, you can't be heard, you will be forgot about.
Absolutely.
And so you're there. You're sitting on the corner of that desk.
Yep. A man comes out. Another man comes out. You're at the end of the table. And I'm thinking, oh, this is it. And he starts speaking. And the only way I can describe it is that when you are so in awe of someone, they just ooze wealth. And you can just sit there and look at someone and go, who made you? Like, where have you come from? Right?
Are these some of your parts?
Yeah, because you're just, the only way to put it is you're inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he knew exactly what he was doing. He'd done exactly the right thing, because what he would do is, I found he gave me almost like a passion, desire to go, until I am now there, I don't stop. It's like something new to chase.
So it's a very good point. So you've made sure you felt good, you've walked in, and then you've just seen a new level. Some people will be like, some people will back away.
Yeah.
And I see that a lot. You must see it a lot now within your current business. Like, people will see the level they're competing at and think, I can't do that.
And a lot of people did, right? You think, I've never had a group interview before.
Yeah.
So you're sitting around a table.
There was a reason why you would put 8 to 10 people in a room.
Yeah.
There was a reason for
to
that.
make me feel threatened. Great.
Mate, no, just because it wasn't actually that. It was because we knew that when you told people what was required, like people think, oh, they get it so easy. Oh, they've got a job in the city. They get paid really well. Like, don't be mistaken. Like, we go into that. Like, don't be mistaken. We go into the hard work that's required.
Yeah.
But we knew that when you put 8 people in a room, only 3 people would come back for the second.
Yeah.
Because of the levels you had to reach. So you're sitting there, you've seen the levels that now.
Mm-hmm. And I'm expecting to now go into a room and do an interview.
Yep.
Where's this interview I've come up for, right? And as I'm sitting there, the guy turns around to me and goes, at the end of that table there's like some scripts. He said, go away, learn the script. You must learn it off by heart. As soon as you've learned that script off by heart, let me know, and then you'll come up and pitch it to me.
Do you know why? Do you know why that was the first step? It was because we wanted to see how much someone wanted it.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if you knew it off by heart.
Yeah.
But it was a bonus if you did.
Yep.
It was a bonus if you did, because you got the further education. But it was it was like a filtering process.
And you find I implement that same technique now in my role today in the company, because I watched as we went through X, Y, and Z, how it would feel to people. To me, and maybe to you and to people like ourselves, it was not an option to not do it, because that would be classed as like not succeeding to something. It's not to say that someone's failed or anything like that. It might not be someone's right path in their life, right? But for me, if someone sets me a goal to hit the goal and then move on to the next thing.
Because the thing is, do you know what? You never forced it upon anyone. Yeah. You didn't want to force it upon anyone, because what you wanted to see is if they've got the hunger. And I remember I was in the same position. We're going to go into that. I remember shivering. Like, when I was doing it, my first role in the city, like, I think it was a floor of about 40, 50 people knew what they was doing, knew where they was going. Yeah. And same mentality, just like, F it, let's do it.
Yeah. But nothing was getting in the way.
So tell me about the process now. So now you've
taken the script. Yep. Yeah. I've gone home. I'm sitting on the train. I'm looking at this piece of paper.
I'm laughing because I know what that feeling is of. What used to go over my head, how am I going to get this in me?
That's literally me. I'm thinking, I'm on the train, I'm looking at how small the writing is, and I'm thinking, How many words are on this 4 pages here? How many actual tangible words are here that I've got to remember in sequence? And then I'm thinking, how can I, what is going to be the easiest way to get these into my brain to stay in my brain? So I'm thinking, right, I'm going to just do a paragraph at a time. Yeah. So if I can just
to give people
start.
heads up, there was probably how many paragraphs?
Mate, like you're talking 4 pages of text. I mean, there must be 10 a page.
Yeah, so I'd say about 40 paragraphs of information that you've never seen before.
Ever. On a product you don't know. No. It could be another language. Yeah.
On a new industry that you didn't know.
It was completely new. Yeah. So I'm going home and I'm now thinking, how can I do this? So I go, the easiest way to do this is going to be if I record myself saying it.
So what I want to get at right now, so you've now been given a challenge.
Yep.
That looks like a mountain of a challenge because I've been there and experienced it before you done it. So I'm talking from experience. Mine was 2 pages and it was probably about size font 14. So, so probably don't feel as much as what you felt at the time. But like people run away from things like that.
Yeah.
And just go like that. And what I see a lot, and what I used to see a lot from experience, people will badmouth it. Oh, don't want to be doing that. No, because like someone's been given a mammoth of a task, something they've never done before.
Yep.
Talk to me, like consciously, what did you have to do?
Prepare myself because I knew what I was about to go through. I knew that this was not going to be any easy challenge.
But what I'm saying is, like, what made you go, I'm doing it?
Because for me, I'm in a role that I know isn't going to be me for the rest of my life. So I have a decision to make now, whether I know that whatever's going to come, the next part of my process is going to be tough. Right?
It's a good point because you're now talking about you was comfortable.
Yeah.
Content. Yeah. Contentment doesn't always mean happy.
No.
You've seen a lot of us up in the city. You've now been inspired, but to get through, you've been given a challenge.
Yep. And there's nothing that's going to stop me.
So, talk to me about this learning process.
So I go home, I start recording myself saying this script. Okay. So I put it in so that every day I can put it in my ears. Back then, I think we probably had Walkmans, but I've got
tape recorder, record.
in the back of my bag. But so I've recorded this script. I've put it in, and every day I'm playing it. I'm going to parents, siblings, everything, and I'm going, right, I need you to test me. Yeah, I'm gonna say what's on that piece of paper right there.
What was they thinking?
I won't go into that.
No. Don't specifically give me what they was thinking because I know I'd done the same. I think I was still living at home at the time, and I'm like, Mum. She's like, Ash, I'm in the bath. I'm like, yeah.
What's it cooking? Like, just quickly.
Just quickly.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is because it's a very important point I want to say.
Yeah. Because
family around me was like, why don't you just go and get a safe job? We'd go into that because
Spencer, you're an accountant. No, why? Yeah.
So you're practicing. You're probably getting advice that's probably taking you off course now.
Yep.
Yeah. But you're still fighting. So you're now learning. Let's just say we get to the point of.
Yeah, I know.
Give me 3 things that you did to get through that task.
Repetition, consistency, every day, every break, every moment, whether it be on the loo, on the way to work, on the car, or in my ears. Yeah, I'm learning that every day. I'm phoning people up. I'm buddying up with one other person that was there, and we're testing each other. Right? We're like, come on, we've got this.
You found an accountability partner.
Yes, and now it was also another competition. Who was going to learn it
You're
first?
You're being smooth.
Yeah.
And we're going to go further into shows. If you know Spencer, today's businessman, he's very smooth. He's tactical. And I love it because it's sometimes business at its finest when you hear some of the stuff. But what you've actually done is you've worked out what you're dealing with.
Yeah. And where is where is the level? Am I behind? Am I in front? Like, what's good and what's maybe not so strong right now? Yeah. So I learned the script. Takes me 3.5 weeks. Yeah. My goal I set myself.
I think I got a text, just to let you know, at that time, you're going to know, like, you didn't have breathing spaces. You worked, partied, went home, tried to get some sleep in, go back to work, go down. Like, it was a lifestyle. So I remember I think it was a text. You text me like, I know it.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know what? I didn't actually expect anything to come back.
No.
Like, because do you know what? It's quite bad, but I lost expectations.
Yeah.
Like, so... Like, no, that's it. I think I had about 3 or 4 come back. So I was like, and I was tracking it, and through ratio, I was like, that's it. And then I think I got a message from you saying, I'm done. And I was just sitting there, just due to having a personal relationship with you. I was just like, all right, sorry. I don't know if I tested you or anything like that before.
No. I remember.
Because I was getting advised by my manager to stay away, because what I wanted to do was probably, as a friend, just prompt
help you out.
Help you out. But
that'd be nice. Yeah.
but then it's all for the right reason. Like, I was getting, no, leave them to do it. So you know it. You like, when was the day you had to, like, so you coming to present it, yeah?
I'll never forget this day, ever. I remember coming up to London with you in the car, and you're like, you all right? I'm thinking, yep. I'm thinking, oh my God. And you're going, so you ready for it then? And I'm thinking, yeah. And at the time, I think I'm going to be pitching either the guy that I've met or maybe you. Yeah. And I'm praying it's you. Yeah. And we get up there and we go into this room. Now, I've not been in this room before. I've only been up to London once, and that was for the interview. And we go in this room, and there's a whole room full of brokers. Okay,
I know the feeling you went, because I went through it. But yeah,
my hand. I mean, I'm sweating from my kneecaps.
You're making me relive the same emotion, but you go for it. Yeah? So you walked in, you've seen the floor, you've seen probably me trying to keep a zoo together, because it was just they're crazy. It's what you see. They're crazy.
Actually, I remember walking in and hearing a guy finish up on the phone saying he's going to go and eat his cucumber sandwich now. And I'm thinking, have I just heard this right? Because, I mean, he was by far, you could tell he just was superior straight away, the way he held himself, everything. And I'm thinking, wow, like, what? This is insane. And unless you've been there, which I know some people have, it is what you picture it to be like.
But
like,
you can't describe. I don't think you can describe the buzz, the
ambience. It's electric.
But that's the very strict rules they have. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
Yeah.
So you know, like you sieve out the weak as fast as you can. So it's just because you got to be an A player. You got to have. But yeah, so I want to know. So there you go. You've walked in a room.
Yeah, the meeting's happening, and I'm sitting there observing this meeting. And I'm thinking, maybe this is just it. Maybe they're just happy for me just to tell them that I know the script and this is just going to start now. Like, have I got the job? Is this a trial day? And I remember thinking, okay. And they go, so Spencer's joined us today. I'm thinking, right, I'm going to introduce myself to everyone. And they go, Spencer's learnt the script. We've all learnt the script. We all know the script. Spencer, everyone in here has done what you're about to do.
Can I just ask you one thing before this bit? Did you think that's all you had to learn and you was in?
Yeah. No, I didn't know what to expect. I've never done this before, right?
No, because I thought the same. I thought, once it's out the way, it's out the way.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. No. Anyway, you're there.
Yeah. And he goes to me, can you stand up at the front and pitch it? And my heart dropped.
Yes, but the thing is, it's like you've put yourself there.
I know. And you just go for it. And the nice thing is I did know that script. I didn't get that script completely right because I was shaking like a leaf. Yeah. I was so nervous. It was ridiculous. And I remember standing at the front of that room, looking at everybody and just wanting to close my eyes and pretend like nobody was there. And every single time you look around, there's another person, and the room just keeps getting bigger. But no, I got up there, done the script, pitched the script. I got a few bits wrong, but at the end of it, everyone got up, clapped, cheered, like you're cuddling everyone. And do you know what? It was the best feeling ever. And without a doubt, I can honestly say, although it was potentially one of my most nerve-wracking moments I've ever done in my whole life, even probably still today, it was one of the most rewarding moments I have ever done to date.
I think it instantly, you chuck yourself in, like, I don't like to use cliches, in a room full of very confident people.
Yeah.
And put yourself on the line.
Yeah.
And as we didn't care if it was word for word.
No.
It was that hunger to go, put me there.
Yeah,
That's
try
what
me.
Try me. That's what we wanted to see. Like, because a lot of people like crumble at that point. They crumble. Like, what I'm saying is, it's like early on you were saying about, like, you can't be seen, you can't be heard. Like,
yep.
we just wanted to see the mentality always, which you probably see as a business owner now, that they can fit in. They've got attributes that you can mold into a direction that will benefit them and the company. Yeah. And that's all you looked for. So it's like I know that feeling of the reward. But so you've done that, you've done the script. Now let's fast forward a little bit. You're cracking on, you're doing your thing, and let's start talking about
changing my life.
Changing your life. Let's talk about changing your life. So there's going to be a few things I want to bring up, but what I want to talk about is first deal. What was it?
Oh my God.
Because that must have been your first taste of doing business.
Success.
Yeah.
Well, what felt like success. It still is success on any level.
100%. It's the little kickstart.
Yeah. I remember picking up the phone and being like a mute. Look, I don't mind speaking on the phone. Speaking on the phone's we speak to people all day, every day. And I've spoke to people on the phone in my previous role. And then all of a sudden, you're now speaking to a client on the phone and you're like,
because the buck stops with you.
Yeah.
The buck stops with you.
It's so scary. And I don't know if you remember, I still remember this. You and one of the other guys, one of the senior guys there, come over. And I remember here we're getting your conversation and you guys thinking, he isn't going to make it. Yeah. And I remember thinking to myself at the time, because I was so bad on the phone. You see, you remember this now. Yeah.
It's because I had this love for you. I was just like, oh no.
I know.
Like, no.
And there was another guy that started at the same time as me, and he was on one of the other teams. And I'm asking him, so how many clients have you spoken to today? Have you got any literature out? Like where are you with all this? He goes, oh yeah. Like, yeah, I spoke to 5-6 new people.
So just to give people an understanding, Spencer was selling financial services.
Yep.
You had to send out packages of the stuff we offered.
Yep.
To gain interest into getting people to come on board.
Exactly that.
Yeah. So you'd now spoke to someone of like what's your pipeline looking like?
Yeah.
Like pipeline, like what sort of contact rate, what sort of interest prospects have you got involved?
Exactly that. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I need to do more. And I don't know how to do more.
So you've gone into places where you've gone and sort of dominated, shown that you're the man, that you can do things, that you've now walked into a different environment.
Yeah. And I'm a bottom feeder. I mean, I might as well be the pebble, right? Because I'm watching these people and it's like they're just fluent with it. And I'm new, but I don't feel like I should be new. In my head, I'm not new. Because I know this script, right? Like, I've learnt the script. And you're clutching at it. Because even though you know it, you're still holding it. And you're trying to take the script away from me.
Yes, I'm just about to say that.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to get it out your hand.
Yeah. Just be a normal person, Spence. And I'm thinking, I'm trying. And it took me probably a couple of weeks to get through this kind of phase. And then all of a sudden, what I realised is that it's just normal people on the other end of the phone.
If you didn't notice, we recruited a few at the same time.
Yeah.
In the hope to get someone that was good.
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember who you started with at the time, but it must have, like, we knew the ratios.
Yeah.
So we also wanted to sieve out quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm getting told I don't think Spencer's getting it.
I know. And as soon as I've heard it over, and you can feel it, you can gauge it, can't you? Like, and I'm now in a place where I am not going back to be an accountant. I'm not going back. And
but you've probably risked, because I know starting as a junior, you will have been on a basic.
Yep.
Which probably would have been lower.
A lot lower.
And commission.
Yep.
So you've now
my back's against the wall. You've
now taken probably, like, in the hindsight logical world, you've taken steps backwards to take steps forward.
That's it.
Yeah. So now you're in that position. It's not working. It's not clicking. Like, because a lot of people have that in life. They start something because it doesn't work, move on quick. Yeah. And it's like people, all they need to do is hold on that little bit longer for it to work. So you're smashing it out at this time. There's not a lot of hope seeing.
No. And then all of a sudden, something is just clicked.
You must have done a deal or something.
I remember my first deal, and I remember thinking, is that real? Yeah, because it's just happened. And it's so...
Do you know what I think you was doing? Now thinking back, I think you was trying to get it 100% right.
I know, without a doubt. But I'm obsessed by it.
But what would you say about getting things 100% right?
It's never going to be 100% right because every client's different.
No, but like in life now, so how ready do you need to be at on a percentage scale to take a step?
Cool. I'd start at 50.
Because good. Because that's what I'm trying to get at. But some people, like, be confident with where you go and you go. What you was trying to do was
be 100,
and that's why we're working. But anyway, you probably got a deal, and you were at this point.
Yeah, and now I start realizing that I know my product a little bit better. I know the people in the team a little bit better, and I'm talking to people as people. And all of a sudden, you start realizing that people will actually have quite a good conversation with you if you can hold a conversation.
Communicate. It's the art of communicating.
Yeah.
Like, it's
building the rapport. Now I start realizing I'm looking at things and I've become addicted to sales. Now I know it's a dangerous world. Once you're in, you can't. I'll be surprised if there's many people that once being in sales to a high level
and letting it work and being at a high level
and then leaving it. You can. I couldn't.
It's a way of life. It's a way of life.
You either love it or you hate it. Yeah, and I genuinely believe, even to this day, looking at the business that I have, someone will walk in. And you will know instantly you are born for sales.
What I like to say to people as well, people are like, I don't like selling, I don't like sales, I don't like this. If you purely believe that what you have to offer is of value, can help, is one of the best things on the market, you're doing the world a disservice by not putting it out as an offer.
Oh, without a doubt.
But anyway, I want to go back. I want to go back.
So I'm up, I'm moving forward.
Did you go through a phase where you done one and maybe it went a bit dry?
Do you know what? I actually done 3 and then it went dead silent. And I remember thinking when it started dying down, I'm now overcomplicating the process. And I can feel it as well. And now I know I'm overcomplicating the process. I'm overthinking the process. And I'm trying to get back in a rhythm. I'll tell you, just see if you remember this. Do you remember the day, where we're in the office and I have just had the worst day of my career? Like, you don't get blanks. Yeah, you didn't never get a prospect. Yeah. Do you remember me going home, getting showered and putting a new suit on? Right. I literally, if you ask the boys in the office, I literally was having such a bad day. And I'm really big on all law of attraction now. I'm fully fledged into reading, studying. I'm mastering my craft. I've become, this is me for the rest of my life now. And I'm having such a bad day that I can't shake it. I've woke up late in the morning. I knew I woke up late. I've rushed to get up and out. Yeah, I've got out. I've got to the office. I've not had breakfast. I'm trying to sort myself out of a coffee. I'm moving forward. It's got to lunchtime and I'm on nothing. And everybody's saying, no, 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 no. And I'm thinking, oh my God, give a guy a break. Yeah. And I'm in such a bad mood and I can't shake it. And I cannot shake it. So I turn around to myself.
It was called a donut. Did you ever?
Yeah, I know. You don't get donut. No one gets a dinky.
Just so anyone knows, because a donut's 0, isn't it?
Yeah. And so everyone's gone out for lunch. And I thought, nah, I've drove home. Yeah. I've then gone and got a new suit on. I've had a shower, put a new suit on, come back to the office and finished on one of my best days ever. And look, you call it however you want to call it. It could be complete luck. Yeah, but I generally believe the mental state, the frame of mind that you put yourself in, the time that you walk in, even from the moment you walk up, how many times more than not, you plan something, you're going to wake up, like I wake up every morning, Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. Yeah. Saturday, Sunday, normally 6:30. Yeah. So if I wake up late, it gets me right on the back foot straight away. Yeah. And I hate it. Right. So what happens? You become a creature of habit. So now if you can learn how to then control your own emotion and move that emotion, that's the most powerful art, when you can control your own mind.
What I want to go back to as well, you said like luck, like people say, oh, it's a coincidence.
Yeah.
But people don't give themselves the luck, the coincidence to change, because they don't change the environment.
No.
Now, like some people go, oh, it's just luck. No. You actually actively created some coincidence.
Yeah.
You created some luck by going home, refreshing, coming back as a new person. So we're now in, you're now learning, you're now moving.
Yep.
Things hadn't worked, so you got yourself back into it. Now I'm actually starting to see like, yes.
Yeah.
Things are moving, and then, yeah.
I'm pretty good at it.
And I was thinking, right, okay, like, no, but it was, that's, it's not that. I used to never make calls on people I knew.
Yeah.
People would be like, mate, you know, and I'm like, that's sweet. I'll keep an eye. And I was like, you now got to test him. You've now got to I just remember, we talk about learning personal development, and we talk about, so we're doing personal development, I think.
Massively.
And there's a lot in personal development. Do you remember the earring story?
The one where you bullied me.
Don't use the word bullied.
No.
I was doing you a favour.
You've done me a massive favour, because I'll probably still have it in today. I can still feel it.
Yeah, so...
Good.
We started seeing you progressing now, yeah?
Yeah.
So what happens is...
Hang on, you got to tell the earring story.
You know, I'm going to go back to it. I was thinking, to progress within, let's say, like, an environment with A players, you need to be a role model.
Yep.
And anyone who didn't know, I think Spencer had girl earrings coming out of his ear.
It was a diamond earring. And back at the time, that was bloody cool.
I'm not saying anything. I had 2.
Yeah.
But you loved it.
Yeah.
You loved your earring. Yeah. But it was a thing. It was the fashion. It was it was the thing. But
that and a French crop.
What?
That and a French crop.
We needed to go from... we needed to get that... We needed to get the maturity fast. Yep. And I remember, so... Do you remember the story? How did it go?
Yeah, I remember being on the phone, put the phone down, get a tap on shoulder. You all right, mate? You all right, Ash?
I'm apologising.
Yeah, good. Do me a favour. I said, yeah. Just pass me that earring a second. I'm thinking, I have no clue why you need this earring, but okay. Like, if you really want the earring, maybe you lost yours. I don't know. No, joking. And so I've taken the earring out, give it to you. You've asked everyone to get off the phone. Everyone's down off the phone. I'm thinking, what is he doing? And you go, if you think that Spencer should stop wearing this earring, raise your hand. And every single person in that whole room raised their hand. And you walked up to the bin, you put it in the bin. I said, please don't wear it again. that was the last time I wore an earring.
But I don't know. I don't know what was going on. Like, it was the right move. What I see with you was going. What I see with you was fast progression.
Yeah,
fast. Which people are going to see further down the line, and probably people see from the outside is how fast.
Yeah.
So it was like, I always feel like if you're moving fast and you want to shine like a diamond, you've got to get cut quick. Yeah. There's things that's gonna like if you ever had to meet a client, if you ever had to do this, you can't be all turning up with a diamond earring in.
No.
And I remember, so there's me with making you chuck your diamond earring in the bin. Then we're moving forward. It's rolling. It's working. You're loving life. You're doing bits. You're now partying. You've gone down the always out, and it was the culture. And then it was like.
Then you put me under the biggest test I've ever been on. You've come up to me. I met one of our good friends at the time. Well, still is a very good friend. Yeah. And you met him at the time. And you said, I was chatting to him and he's looking to move out. Right? I'm thinking, I'm what, 20, it would have been 2021 at the time. And he said, I think you're ready.
I think it was because we were looking at you to put you in management.
Well, yeah.
And when I was in the journey to get into management, it was like, you cannot tell people what to do.
Yeah.
This is what I see as well. You cannot tell people what to do if you are still living at home with your mum and dad.
Yeah.
I don't undermine that. Things happen and you grow and things like that. But what I'm saying is, if you have the power to, how can you be preaching to someone what to do to progress in life? And how can you be driving an old car?
No.
So at the time, I had been through that and it went down to things like watches and things like that, like, because you needed in an industry like where it was very egotistical, you had to sort of show, otherwise you wouldn't get the respect, and you had to have the figures that backed it up. Yeah. So we were seeing like I think that's when you went into management. You went into management, and you was like, no. I think you'd already told me, I want to do it, and then you didn't know what that meant to us,
and then you get pushed. Right. But it was the best thing, without a doubt, that right there, that moment, without a doubt, was the moment that I went from being a boy, big ambition, massively enthusiastic, always go, to all of a sudden becoming an adult.
Well, you can't act like a man all day and go home to your parents like a little boy.
No. And it was made aware. And I remember speaking to the guy, and I said, look, let's get a place then, let's do this. And at the time, he was earning a little bit more money, and he helped me out, actually, is the honest answer, to be fair to him. Because what he'd do is he'd pay a little bit more, but he got the ensuite. Yeah. He didn't realise, and I still haven't said till this day,
You've got a whole bathroom.
I've got a whole bathroom. Yeah. So he's got the ensuite to his room, but there's only two of us, so that means I get a 4-piece. So thanks. Yeah. And pay a little bit less rent. Brilliant. Yeah.
So I've got the better space.
Yep.
I've got the 4-suite.
Yep.
And I pay less.
Exactly that. And we went and got a nice little place in Benfleet, and it was a start of me.
But what I'm saying is, it's like not everyone has that mentality. Look at the positive you pulled out that whole situation.
I know.
Some people are like, but I've got the smaller room. I know it's minor. I know this is very minor, but it was the fact that you've gone, no. You're appreciating the situation.
Yeah.
And taking the best out of it. So you've moved in.
Yeah, we moved in, and all of a sudden, my opportunities, should I say, just kept growing. I mean, I'll go back to working with a company doing what at the time people see as a bit like a pyramid scheme. Yeah. But I'm thinking, right, how can I make more money? Yeah. I've got one, because you know what it's like. You're going through these sales trainings, right? And how often do people say, right, you've got to have multiple streams of income, safety, security?
People don't put, like we did. Me personally, I didn't get that line.
Yeah.
You need to get one that works.
Yeah, and
first, which will allow you to invest into other areas or create other multiple streams of income.
Exactly that. And for me at the time, I'm just thinking to myself, right, I just want to learn, develop and grow. And all of a sudden, we're presenting to people about products. Yeah, inside the flat, I'm finding streams of income here. I'm doing well at sales. That's working. I'm now managing a team, which I'd never in my wildest dreams. Now I'm studying. I remember coming home. I had a partner at the time. Would get in bed, and I would sit there from like 7 till sometimes 11 o'clock at night, studying the art of sales. Yeah, and I would.
I think anyone in business, entrepreneurship, they're all salesmen.
Yeah.
So the better you become,
the
better you'll be. And it's like, it's the connotation of having bad around sales. It's because, and I want to say it out there, if people don't like selling or selling their products, they don't believe in their products.
No.
They don't believe their products give value.
You're selling regardless. Because if you want to go into business, you have to sell yourself.
You're selling your family, you're selling your kids, you're selling your friends, no matter what you use to it. But yeah, so you've moved in. I remember this vividly. I was just like, we were sitting at the back going, look, Spencer's doing this. Like, he's making them do all this homework, making them do all this. There's a lot. You can always be learning in sales. If you're not actively making yourself better, you're declining.
Yeah, but I'm watching one of the guys in the office at the time. You know who, and he was phenomenal. He started at the set. I remember doing his induction. Yeah, I remember doing his induction and thinking, really? And then all of a sudden, he has just exploded with growth. Like, he was phenomenal. And he just studied and studied and studied. I'm watching him and I'm thinking, I can't let this guy become like in front of me, like more knowledgeable. To be fair to him, he had a natural talent, a natural gift. And I still to this day admire him. And I will still to this day talk to even my sales guys and say, you have seen nothing until you've seen what I see that guy do.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
We used to buy him new we used to buy him new shoes.
Yeah.
And I mean in a 2-week period, would wear his shoes out. He would, and this is what people should look at. So he had an opportunity, a very good opportunity for him, and understood the opportunity. I remember he used to take a bus because it was a slower journey.
Yeah.
So he could educate himself en route. I remember him coming up to me saying, "Can I have a deal ticket as a junior?"
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not what you do. Like the client was ready to go, which is unheard of. But as any right business owner, he didn't receive any of the commissions because he changed the line of thought, like the
chain of command.
And I think that was good leadership skills from the people that were around at the time, because if it was acceptable, everyone would try and do it.
Yeah.
But I remember him training. I gave him so much just to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to get rid of him. Like, I remember him coming back and I know it off by heart. And I'm like, stop lying. So I was throwing him like the hardest stuff. And he's going bang, bang, bang. And he's a successful guy today. But yeah, so you're looking at him and
I'm watching him grow. But then the moment of realization comes when you're looking at everybody, and you know as much as I do, right? You're looking around the room and some are younger, some are older. You're looking at everyone and you're just watching everybody just burn out around you. And you're thinking to yourself, am I going to be here? The question I ask myself, the moment, the epiphany where I'm like, right, I need to probably look at another industry here, is when you're looking at everybody and you're going, am I going to have a partner? Because I did have a partner at the time. Children. Am I going to see my children?
So you just found a partner at the time.
Yeah.
And that lifestyle, like, is very hard to maintain.
Yeah.
Maintain the outside world.
Yeah.
And yeah, you see a lot of burnout. A lot of people go down the wrong paths. Alcohol can be a big contributor, and it's the relentless working long hours, stressful roles, and so you've now seen the light that the sustainability of your health.
It's not logical though, is it? Like, it's not. Like, some of the things that happen, you will never talk about. Like, and you just couldn't talk about. Yeah. And like, if we're really frank, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, it's probably time I go and find myself not a job, because you know what job stands for, but another line of industry where there's a bit more balance now.
What does job stand for? I know what it
Just
stands
over broke.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. Don't you worry.
Why is that? Because no matter how much you earn, you will live to your means.
Yeah.
And that's where people, what about if I earn 200 grand a year? You'd have a bigger mortgage, a bigger house, a bigger lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so just over broke. So you've gone from like 0 to 100 in the sales space very fast.
Yeah.
You've become very aware through personal development. You've educated yourself on selling, growth, goal setting. You're now moved out. You're now lost your earring.
Yeah.
You've now put yourself out your comfort zone consistently. So you're now a new human being.
Absolutely. And the biggest thing that could have happened to me is the guy that I was living with was in property. And I'm watching him, and I'm watching the way that he's earning his money. And what's happening is I'm coming to work at the beginning of every single month. That league table, that where all your stats are, gets wiped clean. Right? Go again. Yeah.
This
You're
is
like
what
a
I hate.
hamster on the wheel.
This is what I hate. Yeah, when people go, but I done X amount of deals last month. I done X amount of deals last 3 years ago.
Yeah.
No. You're as good as your last week. Last week, I'd say last month. Like, I think that it's like when people live off their past.
Accolades that don't matter anymore.
No, you're new human beings.
The market's moved, things have changed, competition's different. You have to...
Don't tell me about who you was, tell me who you are.
Exactly that.
And that's what people need to understand, because it's like, when people ask about my experience, I'm a failed this, because I'm not there no more. But I done really well. But if it was going to be uber successful, I'd still be there.
And you see it all the time from salesman after salesman after salesman, or salesperson. Yeah, because let's face it, there's some strong ass women out there that would wrap people up. Yeah. And I just looked at everyone and I just thought, do you know what? I'm looking at the guy I'm living with. He's buying property. He's now 22, 23 years old, and he's already got 4 or 5 properties under his belt. And I know when he wakes up at the beginning of his month, he's got income coming in. And I'm now re-earning the money I've just spent to start again. And before you even get to the end of the month, you've already spent the money. You're constantly chasing your tail all the time. So I'm thinking, right, I'm going to make a move. And a friend of mine, I'm watching him in a different sales industry, and I'm thinking, right, you're earning really good money. That industry can work. So I made the shift into recruitment. But I remember I had to come and tell you. Now, I was so scared of telling you, that I remembered this vividly. I'm about to go on holiday. I'm going to Marrakesh at the time, and I have spoken to this guy. I'm talking the day before I've gone on holiday, I'm in Marrakesh doing my interviews, from the hotel room. Yeah. The first one's on the phone. The second one is a FaceTime, because they want to see me. Yeah. And I'm thinking, after the industry experience that I've got now, I'm not nervous about an interview. If anything, I'm actually excited. I'm like, try me.
Put me in front of anyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's the confidence. But go on.
So I'm done the FaceTime, and she's turned around and said to me, I'm due back in work on the Monday. And she said, I land on Friday. will you come in Friday? And I'm thinking, oh, like, I mean, I'm getting in the morning. So I land, I mean, I must have landed probably about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. By 12 o'clock, I'm in Liverpool Street. There, outside the building, I'm going up for my interview. And I promise you now, that was the most strenuous interview process. I had 6 interviews, an hour back to back. Yeah. And I had you start off with.
It was another filtering process at
Yeah. And I remember sitting in there doing the first one, doing the second one. Then you're doing a profiling test to work out culturally where you fit in the company, teams. Then you start meeting the associate directs. So you've looked at team leads, associate directs. If you get through the associate directs, you then go into the CEO. And that CEO, absolutely, because I had so much confidence at the time, I learned that actually sometimes your confidence can come across as arrogance.
100%.
And he could see straight through me. Yeah. And I remember, yeah.
I don't know this story, but I just know if someone can see through it, they're going to test it.
Oh. And I sat there for an hour with him and the head of training, and to the point where he turned around, he said, okay. He said, I tell you what then, I'm the client, pitch me your product. And I had to pitch the product that we're working with to him as a prospective buyer. And I remember thinking, okay. And he got up at the end and he shook my hand. As he walked out with the head of training. The head of training walked back in. He said, I must say, that is one of the best interviews I've ever done.
You had some good training then, yeah?
Yeah. Oh my God. My heart. I was, because the thing is because you hold yourself in high regard now, a loss is so much bigger. And you can't go back into that. Like, if that's done and you don't get that job, that's me against me. And I've lost that opportunity. So to get that opportunity, and then I remember messaging you and saying, I need to have a chat.
I probably just knew straight away.
Yeah. And I thought, oh my God. And you was like, cool, enjoy it, good luck, see you later. I was like, oh.
There's always one thing that I got taught as well. When someone leaves, like make sure you as the business owner, the leader, the manager, finds out how you can improve, how you can. Like what was like I would always say, if someone leaves you, someone wants to leave, sit down and ask why they left. And I'll say that you want the most honest answer, because it's feedback that you can't pay for.
Yeah.
You cannot pay for that feedback. And you were saying about being the burnout, maybe that was hopefully that was the whole truth, because I could see it. But what I'm saying is, and I would preach to any leader out there that has a team, if anyone leaves, you can't pay for that feedback. Like that is the best constructive criticism if you want to take it on board. But I see some people just don't. Some people don't want to buy it. No. But you're getting first-hand experience of who you are. But yeah, let's.
No, definitely. So I've then started my new role. I'm in recruitment. It was a big shock. Culturally, it was very different. At the time, I'm working now in the top 100. And if anyone's had to work in a company that's either pushing, growing, or is in a top 100 business, what you start to realize now is that there's certain things that you can't do because you're now being observed and watched and studied to see if you fit the bill.
Yeah, because now that if they're so you said they're footsie.
Yeah.
So they've now got shareholders to impress.
Yeah.
So you become part of the numbers sheet.
Yeah, but do you know what? It was actually, for me, I wasn't there for a long amount of time. I was probably only there for about 9 months all in all, maybe closer to the year. And the time that I was there, I got to see a different side of business, which for me is one of my mental moves that I've made with my business, because I now look back at that business structure. And if I hadn't seen that business structure, I don't think, and what I mean by that is when you've got all the tellies on the wall in front of you and you're watching the stats, right? You're talking call times, yeah? But you think when we work together, you're working on 300-400 calls a day. Yeah. It was never nowhere near that, yeah? Because now your hour's lunch break had to be your hour's lunch break because they had to be deemed to be doing the right. Don't tell my guys that, will you? Oh my God. Right?
What's a lunch break?
No, yeah, exactly that, right? So
I thought you carry on working, you eat, and then you carry
have you been fed? Great, carry on, yeah. So
I thought it was like filling up the petrol to go again. Like, it's
honestly. So I'm watching this, but then I'm watching the way that the compliance is done, to the admin, to the different departments, and just everything. The way it was so well oiled, all in one office, yeah. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, wow, yeah, everything's turnkey, yeah. So I'm working these departments, but then all of a sudden it gets to the end of the year, and I watch these two guys. And this is where I learned visual management under KPI. So what I mean by that is, rather than someone coming over to me and giving you a tap on the back and saying, do you know what, mate, you're doing a blinding job, keep going. Yeah. So that kind of man management, this company's managing more now by a KPI. So you already know if you're fired. Yeah.
I love that.
So
no
one's asking you or telling you whether you think you've done a good job or a bad job. There's team leads there.
It's in real high level sales, you can't get sacked.
No.
You sack yourself.
Yeah.
You can't ask for a promotion. You get promoted.
Yeah. It's there. On paper, if you hit this, you move to this.
And do you know what? I think that's a really good thing, because you don't let external validation actually blur you to think that you're doing something well. Yeah. It's facts and logic to prove that you're doing well.
And it's the exact way that I think, as my business moves forward and Perry's business, is that it's a much better way of working with people, because it becomes less emotional, more logical, but it allows you to spend time back in the emotion. Yeah. So I'm there, and I will never forget the moment ever. The two top billers of the company are going neck to neck, and I'm talking, Ash, I'm not joking with you. I'm watching this league table. It's visual. So every single time a deal ticket's done, put on, as soon as admin processes that deal ticket, that's now on the board. It's live. Yeah. So it's the last day of the year. We're waiting for the bells to be rung, and you are literally watching these two guys go head to head, and everyone's drinking, everyone's eating, they're celebrating, we're having the Christmas party. And I am fascinated by these two guys left at their desks, lunch, everyone's gone off, they're still there. They are hitting these phones so fast, there's nothing being unturned till the last second, and the whole department stop and watch to see who's got it. Yeah. And I remember thinking, I want to create this. Now, recruitment was never my love. It was a complicated process. You're dealing person to person. And the problem with that is I've always dealt with product. So to go from person to person, it's very challenging. I take my hat off to anybody that's in recruitment, because you have got to be resilient, because I've now got to get the employer to enjoy the company of the employee on an interview. They also have to prove the technical ability.
You're already saying it's too much of a long-winded process.
Honestly, it's crazy. The environment was perfect. The people of dealing on the transaction was the bit to me that I just couldn't deal with.
You was used to a lot smoother transaction.
Massively. So I decided, right, I'm going to make a career change. And on that career change, I'm thinking I want to get into property.
I'm going to stop you there. Because what I want, what's going to happen next time we speak, we're going to talk about Spencer's journey, walking into property, coming number one in the estate agents, building Gilbert and Rose to where it is now, what it's taken. So next time we sit down and speak, next time we sit down and speak, we're going to be talking about your journey
in property,
in a estate agency, because this will need a whole new clean episode. we now know who Spencer is before he got a taste of property.
Sounds good.
Right, lovely. So, yeah, keep your eyes peeled, guys. We will be talking about Spencer's property journey very, very, very soon.
Brilliant.
Right, see you soon.
See you soon. Cool.